Hi, Hannah. Thank you. Well, welcome again. I just wanted to welcome all of you again here tonight. The fact that we have, I think it was 17 different nations represented under this roof. It's a real honor and it's a privilege for us at New Horizons to have all of you here. Having you here brings us much joy. Having your families here brings us much joy. So thank you for coming here tonight. So our goal tonight was to share with you an American Thanksgiving tradition. So hopefully you got to share a little bit of one of our traditions, Thanksgiving dinner. And we also, another goal of ours was we wanted to invite you into a story. So who here likes stories? I certainly do. And so what I wanted to do is I want to share with you what I believe to be the greatest story of all. But I can't tell you the whole thing because we don't have time. But I want to tell you a small portion of that story tonight. Is that okay? So the small portion of that story involves sheep. Now who here thinks that they could make a really good sheep noise? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody know what a sheep sounds like? Pretty good. I was hoping for better, but it's okay. I think you guys know what a sheep sounds like. In fact, sheep are very interesting. There's a lot of different accents in this room. Well, actually, sheep have different accents. If you go to different areas of the world, they'll sound different. And they're actually really good at recognizing each other's voices. So they're actually pretty amazing. Now, who here knows what the smartest animal in the world is? Human, I'll give you that. What? The truth is, I'm not sure what the smartest animal in the world is, but I know it isn't the smartest animal in the world, and that's sheep. Now, sheep aren't exactly dumb, but they also have been known to do not so smart things. So, Carter, could you play that first video? Just another look at it. I just imagine he could do that all day. He just pulls it out and jumps right back in all day. So as you saw, sheep are known, they can do not the smartest thing. They can jump in a ditch, be pulled out, and then jump right back in that ditch. So not the smartest creatures, but they are herd animals. They love to be part of a flock. They actually do really well when they're together, which can be really good for sheep, except when one sheep goes off a ledge, all the other sheep may follow it, and you might lose the whole flock. It's happened before. It's not good. But most of the time, when a sheep is with the flock, is with the herd, it's actually a very good thing for that sheep. It's safe for that sheep. Now, what happens when a sheep actually gets lost or wanders out from the herd? What happens to it? Well, I have another video to show you. This is a true video of what happened to one sheep that was wandered away and was found by itself. Carter, can you play that second video? So that's an example of a sheep that wandered away from the fold. And it turns out it's not good. It's not good for the sheep. Their wool never stops growing. And so when it has nobody to shear it, it just continues to grow, and it gets dirt, and then it gets water on it, and then it gets more dirt, and it gets heavier and heavier. And I think that video, it showed that the weight of its wool was actually heavier than its actual body. It was carrying a weight that was even heavier than itself. Its face was covered by its own wool because it kept growing, and it had become so overgrown that it couldn't see. Now, what is going to keep that sheep from wandering away? You know, it needs to be in the herd. What keeps that sheep, or all the sheep, from wandering off and falling off the ledge? Who's going to keep that sheep, all the sheep together? Say it again. A shepherd. That's exactly right. A sheep is safest when it's with its herd and when it has a good shepherd. A good shepherd will lead the sheep into a safe place. A good shepherd will pull the sheep out of the ditch, and even when it jumps back in the ditch, he'll go in and pull it out again. A good shepherd will shear the sheep so that it doesn't get overgrown and become weighed down and blind. The best thing for a sheep is a good shepherd. A good shepherd goes before his sheep, and they follow him because they know his voice. Now, here's the part that we believe to be the greatest part, the greatest story of all. In our holy book, there is a good shepherd. In this story, you and I are actually like sheep. And it's actually quite a good analogy because, like the sheep that jumped into that ditch and had to be pulled out, I myself have found myself jumping into a ditch, being pulled out, and then jumping right back into the same ditch. It's happened more times than I like to admit. And also, like the sheep in the second video, we can be weighed down by the weight of the world, and it can be overwhelming, and it can get heavier and heavier, and it feels like maybe we can't see in front of us. So maybe you and I are more like sheep than we realized. And just like those sheep, you and I need a good shepherd. Because the best thing for a sheep is a good shepherd. And in this story, the good shepherd, there is a good shepherd, and this shepherd is like no other. This shepherd loves his sheep so much that he would lay down his very own life for them. In fact, the shepherd said, "Greater love has no one than this, than a person lay down his life for his friends." Now, if this shepherd loses one sheep, say he has 100 sheep in his flock, if he loses just one, he loves him so much that he would leave the 99 just to find that one sheep. Now, I said this is the greatest story of all, and I'm saying that because I believe it's real. It's about you and me. And in this story, the good shepherd wants you to be part of his fold. This good shepherd wants to pull you out of the ditch that you fall into, and then pull you out again, and to clean you off, and take off the things that have been burdening you. And the things that have been overwhelming and feel like you can't even see, he wants to remove those so that you can see. In this story, the good shepherd actually does lay down his life for his sheep. And he says to his sheep, "My sheep know my voice, and they follow me." My wife, who just spoke earlier, Hannah, she was in Iraq a few years ago. And she was out in the fields, and she saw many, many sheep. There were many herds of sheep. And then all of a sudden, she heard a voice. And then she saw the sheep begin to separate. And what was happening was one flock of sheep was hearing the voice of their shepherd and coming to him. They knew the sound of his voice and were following him. In our story today, the good shepherd wants you to know the sound of his voice. He wants you to become part of his fold, because the best thing for a sheep is a good shepherd. Now, if you know this good shepherd personally, could you raise your hand? So there are a lot of people in this room that would say they do. If you guys would like to learn more about this good shepherd, please ask. If you raise your hand, raise your hand one more time. Feel free to ask any of these people raising their hand if you'd like to learn more. That all of these people know this shepherd and they know his voice. And that's all that I have got for you tonight. Well, again, I'm so thankful that you all are here. We are so blessed that you are here. It brings us much joy. And we'll continue with the night. We'll continue giving out gifts. And be blessed, and feel free to continue talking at your tables.